You looked at where you fell and saw only failure. The distance back felt impossible. You whispered, "Was this collapse part of the climb?" You apologized to Allah for not being further along, for the ache in your chest when you saw others rising steadily. You thought Allah wanted consistency, not your shattered steps. You carried shame like a second shadow. The place you fell became a prison. You whispered, "Ya Rabbah," questioning if this pain was punishment. You thought maybe Allah had moved on, that His rahmah was for those still climbing, not for you, stuck in the debris of your own collapse. You tried to rise again and again, but the weight of the fall, it felt heavier than the climb. You wondered if giving up was easier than getting back up. But what if this fall was never meant to bury you? What if beneath the rubble, Allah was preparing something gentle to lift you? You thought your fall meant you failed, man, that Allah's love had conditions, and you hadn't met them. You carried guilt like armor, heavy, sharp, and cold. You believed that asking for help was admitting weakness, that sabr meant silence. So you suffered alone, whispering astaghfirullah not for sins, but for existing in pain. You compared your fall to others' flights, wondered why your niyyah wasn't enough. You forgot that even prophets stumbled, and were still beloved. You stopped calling on Allah because your voice felt too cracked, too broken. You thought maybe He preferred the prayers of those who never fell at all. You believed your fall was a sign to give up, that maybe Allah was testing if you'd finally quit. You forgot that sometimes the test is the fall. But what if your fall wasn't a failure of faith, but a feature of it? What if beneath the pain, Allah was writing something gentler than your climb ever imagined? Allah says, "And whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while being a believer, we will surely grant them a pure life, and we will surely give them their reward according to the best of what they used to do." An-Nahl 1697. Your worth was never in your climb, and we will surely give them their reward according to the best of what they used to do. Even the fall, if it brought you closer, was part of that best. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Ash-Shar 94 verse 5. Not after. With the fall was never meant to bury you. It was meant to prepare you for the rise Allah already wrote. And your Lord says, "Call upon me, I will respond to you." Ghafir 40:60. Even from the rubble, even in the shame, your voice, however cracked, is still an invitation Allah honors. Indeed, my mercy encompasses all things. Al-A'raf 7:156. Not just the climbers, not just the consistent. Your fall was still within the circle of His rahmah. So verily, with every difficulty, there is relief. Ash-Shar 94, 5-6. Relief isn't just after the fall. Relief is Allah's promise, even in it, especially in it. You no longer apologized for the fall. You stopped comparing your rubble to someone else's rise. You finally understood. The ground was where Allah planted you to grow. You stopped waiting for permission to heal. You whispered, "Ya Rabb," not with conditions, but with trust, not with perfection, but with presence. You began to see the fall not as a detour, but as the path, not a delay, but divine timing. The rubble wasn't where you got lost. It's where you were found. You stopped carrying shame like armor. You let it fall. You finally believed that your qalb, even when broken, was still a vessel worthy of Allah's love. You no longer begged for relief from the fall. You began to ask for wisdom through it. You learned that sometimes the rise isn't about climbing back up. It's about rising from within. You finally understood. This fall, it wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of your rise, not in spite of the fall, but because of it. If this fall was part of your rise, maybe it's time to stop apologizing for where you've been. Maybe it's time to whisper Ya Rabbah and finally believe He's already writing your rise.